Good morning. Daily right-wing protests against acting Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez have become increasingly violent. They highlight mounting tensions as he attempts to negotiate a controversial amnesty law. Around 7,000 demonstrators gathered outside the Socialist Party headquarters in Madrid on Tuesday. He is preparing for an investiture vote, which is expected to see him form a new government and avoid a repeat general election. That can only happen if he can secure the parliamentary support of Catalan separatist parties. As police and protesters clashed on Tuesday night, Mr. Sanchez posted a defiant message on social media. They will not break the Socialist Party, he said. Similar protests have been taking place in the capital and in other cities on a daily basis recently, although this was the most violent so far, with 29 police and 10 demonstrators getting injured. Previously, Mr. Sanchez had deemed an amnesty, which has been a long-standing demand of many pro-independence Catalans, as unconstitutional, making this the biggest and most contentious policy U-turn of his career. Santiago Abascal, the leader of the far-right Vox Party, has called for a permanent, constant and growing mobilisation against the amnesty and called on police officers to disobey illegal orders from their superiors during the protests. Meanwhile, rail unions have called for 5 days of strike action across the network in late November and early December. The move is against the pact between Sanchez's Socialist Party and the Catalan separatists, which would see the transfer and control of Catalonia's commuter rail service go to the regional government. The General Workers' Union, representing employees of the state train operator Renfe and the state infrastructure operator Adif, have called for 24-hour stoppages on the 24th and 30th of November and the 1st, 4th and 5th of December. And after Barcelona clamped down on e-scooters in and on public transport with a temporary ban after a fire on a train, Madrid and other cities are following suit with tighter restrictions. Smoke and fire risk from defective batteries is the culprit, with a major explosion taking place in a Madrid subway in October. The explosion blew out the carriage windows and did some serious damage, but luckily there were no reported injuries. In Barcelona last year, an e-scooter battery exploded and caught fire on board a train, injuring 3 people and inciting a ban on bringing e-scooters onto public transport. The incident, captured on CCTV, showed passengers rushing away from the fire as the carriage filled with smoke. Sevilla has also put in restrictions on public transport, but only during rush hours and on weekends. In Barcelona's case, breaches will lead to a fine of €200, with other cities finding ways to enforce the new rules. Effective this week in Madrid, e-scooters are banned on Madrid's vast public transport system, including interurban and urban buses in other municipalities and the Madrid metro system. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.